we are also exposed to preventive measures to help them avoid being caught in the dangerous web of drug abuse. In addition, the campaign was aimed at awakening in them the zeal to combat it, and also to inform them that peradventure it gets hooked on drugs due to vicissitudes of life, they shouldn't give up hope, because they could be rehabilitated. That is, if they totally submit themselves to various available treatments, medical, nutrition therapy, vocational trainings and exercises, etc. These drug control vanguards were trained and inaugurated to be the eyes and ears of law enforcement agencies at their various levels. These drug control vanguards are very crucial to the issues of drug supply control and drug demand reduction because of the vital information they can help NDLA and the Nigerian police force with. It is a known fact that these drug-dependent people are it's a known fact that if these drug-dependent people are abandoned and not helped today, they will become everyone's nightmare tomorrow. They get involved in all kinds of social evils because they have lost it upstairs, and their judgmental ability is impaired. Therefore, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, there is the need to sustain this structure created. The drug control vanguards, the structure we are referring to, that's the drug control vanguards. Like I said, they are in all the local, in all the wards of the state. So we need to sustain them for the peace, security, and development of our dear state delta. We forward as regards sustainability. At the end of this discourse, we are going to come up with a communique that will be disseminated to NDLA, Nigerian Police Office, Nigerian Police Office from the SSG to the government, ALGON, and Local Government Commission. These organizations need to be reminded of the vital role that can be played by this vital structure, this crucial structure created to combat drug and crime at the various local government council hearings. Once more, I warmly welcome you and wish us all happy and successful deliberation. Thanks, and God bless us all in Jesus' name.
Dr. Marabi, I work for the Delta State Agency for the Control of HIV and AIDS. I like to see smiles on your faces. Okay, that's a good one. I want to respectfully observe all the protocols. I'm here to represent the chairperson of the Delta State Drug Control Committee, of which I'm a member. The Delta State Drug Control Committee is a committee set up by the Delta State government to help in this fight against drug abuse and illicit drug trafficking. The committee is made up of ministries, departments, and agencies, both at the state level and at the federal level, including NGOs and CBOs. So it is a multi-faceted agency, committee that draws its strength from the wealth of experiences from both the public sector and the private sector. The reason being that the fight against drug abuse is a huge one, and it is not left, it's not left for government alone to handle. On that note, I want us to put our hands together again for Mrs. Padley Egote for this wonderful work, for the achievement so far. I want us to encourage her by acknowledging that the fight against drug abuse does not die, does not go with the government. It's a continuum. It's something that must continue with the next administration. Please, Madam, we encourage you to continue with this struggle. It is something we must encourage you to do. We also draw our strength from the collaborations, especially from NDLEA, the Nigerian Drug Law Enforcement Agency, and So far, we have been able to do a lot. We, as a committee, we focus more on sensitization. And what we have done, especially in the past 1 year, is to ensure that we sensitize schools. As of June last year, we were able to set up drug-free clubs in about 60 schools in Delta State. And the activity held in Warri, a sensitization program around the Delta North area. But last year we had to go to Warri to do it. And about 60 schools were inaugurated, their drug-free clubs were inaugurated. It's a no-no. Thank you very much.
Back victims who have traveled abroad illegally due to prostitution or from drugs. So there is a link. We found out, that in human trafficking, there is a link with drugs. So most of the people, because you see fake adverts like we're going to take you abroad, turn you to model, you're going there to go to domestic work. Every country that does human trafficking, like domestic work, is normally Lebanon. Most of the times when these people get there, what they use them for is to traffic illegal, to traffic illicit drugs. So it's very, very interesting to be here. I thank Mrs. Palerobe. I remember when she wanted to start the 25 local governments. She invited me and I told her, that's a lot of work. But actually it's because my own work too was taking my time, because every time they bring in people from outside the country, the International Organization for Migration, I have to be there to go pick up returnees of a Delta State origin. And I'm so happy that she's doing this, because it's helping us to fight human trafficking from the very foundation, from the very root. Please, whatever it is, drug trafficking leads to death. There's just no shortcut to it. It leads to death. So please, as she's doing this, don't just take it that you're sitting down and listening to her. Please stop drug trafficking in any way. If you have family members, please stop drug trafficking in any way. And for people that they have used to traffic drugs to different parts of the world, we say, please, anywhere you know or you've heard of that kind of thing, just drop the name. We normally drop the name with National Agency for the Prohibition of Trafficking in Persons, NACTIC, and we are able to bring back these people. And I'm so happy because she's making my work less. For the past 8 years, we've brought back over 6,000 Deltans that were trafficked illegally. And most of them used as career. Thank God that some of them have died. But I thank God that we're able to find 6,000 people to bring back. And Excellency has done so well to rehabilitate them. So I thank you very much. I thank her for doing a great job. And hopefully the next administration will continue as it is. Thank you.
Barrister Tunde John, who is ably represented here by who is a priest, the Deputy State Commander of some Intelligence, who is representing the chairman. He's going to come forward to deliver and to tell us the story. Can we put our hands together for him, please, as he's stepping forward?
I said Chris Uwe, the Deputy State Commander in charge of National Drug Agency, Delta State Command, Operation and Intelligence. I'm standing in gap for the State Commander. The activities of the Office of the SSA to the Governor of Social Work is known even to our national headquarters. I sound so small here. Drug abuse is a serious menace. And combating this menace, all are involved and all of us are responsible. It does not exempt any one of us because the consequences is hitting on each and every one of us, on every family. So we all hands need to be on deck to combat this menace. The reason that we NDLA are palling with, permit me to follow my name again. I'm palling with every stakeholder. I want to say partnership, but that name just came in at the right time. We are palling with every stakeholder to make sure that we bring drug menace to the lowest, or perhaps barest minimum. Anyone that is, or that we see, that will be able to say something that will help us to salvage this nation from the menace of drug, we parley with them wholeheartedly. I wish to bring to your consciousness that the drug dealers are all out to make money from their victims. They are not interested in you. The drug dealer, they are so tactical in their ways of enticing people to the extent that they give, especially heroin, to their victims free of charge for the first time, free of charge for the second time, free of charge for the fourth time, because they know that after the fourth time, you can no longer be in control of yourself. You will keep running to them for the drug. So for the first time, especially the new users who are undergoing experimentation with drugs, they give it to you free of charge. 5,000 naira, that's small thing. Let me borrow my brother's language. That's small thing. You just put it in your nose, 5,000 is gone, or you just inject it. They'll say, oh, this man good, oh, now 5,000 just dash me like this. They know very well that after using heroin for 3 times, you won't be able to do without it again. You will keep running to them. To the extent that you will end up giving your properties in exchange for this food. So ladies and gentlemen, we are being given a great gift like that. Learn to say no. Learn to say no. They employ a lot of parties these days.
Our Nigerian mentality, our attitude to doing things, we always like cutting corners. This thing they are saying about what's happening in some other countries that you don't go with prescription, it happens in Nigeria too. In some places, I went to Abuja for a meeting and I wanted to get Actifed or a drug that will control cold. I couldn't get it because I didn't have the prescription. I had to go get the prescription before it's sold to me in Abuja. So if it can work in Abuja, it should be able to work in Delta State. The problem we have is implementation of these laws. There are controlled drugs. It is not every drug that you just go and buy. It is not. I think we need to correct that mentality. And it starts with us, even those of us that are sitting here. Because we always have the habit of accepting the norm and say, oh, that's what they do. That's always been like that. It has not always been like that. Let's try and help ourselves.
Line is just one. Either you are in Delta State, you are in Anambra, you are in Lagos, you call that 2 line 24 hours of the day, somebody will respond to you. And if you want to identify your voice to be given, you send email to that 2 number. I will forward that 2 number to Madam's phone after this meeting. I don't have it because I'm not angry with it. That's number 1. Number 2, if we could recall about 4 years ago, there was a documentary made on the use and abuse of codeine syrup by a foreign media, I think a BBC, so to say. And it goes viral how a pharmaceutical company was dispensing or selling cough syrup with codeine indiscriminately. And since that time till date, there is a policy that ban cough syrup with codeine till date. Either be it a pharmaceutical shop or a patent medicine store, no one is permitted to sell cough syrup with codeine till date. That ban has not been lifted. Yeah. Then, in addition to that, the Pharmaceutical Society of Nigeria, the National Association of Proprietary Medicine, I think enterprise dealers, they're equally working together hand in hand to make sure, in liaison with NAFDAC and NDLA, to make sure that the only drug you can buy across the counter, which we call OTC, over-the-counter drugs are just non-addictive drugs. Drugs that does not have addictive consequences. Maybe paracetamol, Panadol, and less analgesic drugs.
Thank you, thank you, thank you. First of all, let me give all the glory to God for having made today possible. Is it on?
Yeah.
Okay. For having made today possible. We all know that without him, this wouldn't have been possible. So we give him all the glory. Then I want to say a big thank you to the NDLA. They have been so supportive. Actually, throughout the campaign, they were there. They were there. There was no local government area to be issued. They were there, you know, all through. And I want to say a big thank you to our drug control committee. You know, of course, it's their show too. You know, and Ministry of Education. Actually, Mrs. Udochukwu, she's awesome. All the students, wherever we are going to, you know, all the local government areas, she will make arrangement for the students to be there. So, in all the schools, we have our vanguards. Do you understand? And somebody made it possible. So, a big thanks to Mrs. Udochukwu, and of course the ministry, because if they had not allowed her, she wouldn't have done it. Okay? So, a big thanks to the Ministry of Education. Then our vanguards, they are not all here. Of course, we couldn't bring all of them down because that entails money, you know. But this ICA group, they have been very active. You see, you heard what they said, that they organize programs themselves. So that is very, very impressive. So I want to say a big thank you to Comrade Friday, who has been, you know, leading that team. Then we also have our students from Ogwashipu. They took all the pains to be here with us. You know, I want to say a big thank you to them. Then Oshimili South, of course, our host. You know, I want to say a big thank you to Oshimili South. And the SSG's office. In fact, I'm surprised that Oga hasn't come as well. It's okay. We have Mr. Modi, who has always been there too. Then, of course, our Dr. Modi. We have Mr. Modi and Dr. Modi. You know, you can see that she's actually a doctor, you know, and she just proven that too. A big thank you to all of you. May the Almighty bless all of you for not letting me down. You know, because it's one thing to organize a program, it's another thing to have people to be there to be there for the program. So I want to say a big thank you to all of you. That God will always be there for you too in Jesus' name. Yeah. I must not forget our journalists from Pointer. Mr. Magodo, who is like he's sleeping. Thank you very much in your sleep. The assistant to governor on information, okay, protocol. As you are saying, so throughout this 45 local government areas, he was there. We went together. You understand? Went Burutu everywhere. He was there. Thank you very much for your support. You've been great to me. Thank you very much. Thank you, thank you. God bless all of you.
For a wonderful vote of thanks. I was just waiting patiently. Like once, as soon as you only me, and I will be microphone since when thank God says you remember. And you had some over a decade now. We met in a workshop organized by the SOPA, and I was a company. That was the first time I met her. It was full of vigor and vitality to give her. We were professors then, you know Professor Gigi Dara. We have never listened to Gigi Dara. We were the class of persons she was competing with. And she came very, very well. So let me invite the students, as I invite Mrs. Span to step forward and let them come to present her with them. We can't put their hands together for them. Where is the leader of the team? The student from Ogwashipu, okay, join.
Standing on the existing protocol, I from London, Colin.
Wait for your colleagues, so they are coming on.
Of your selfless service and immense support to the progress and growth of National Unofficial Students of Ogwashipu Chapter, I hereby release the award of honor to you on behalf of
Thank you.
We commence our journey back home as well. Father Lord, help us and give us the grace to do your will through Christ our Lord.
Amen.